Good morning, welcome back. All right, we're talking about our cars. We want to keep them running. We want to stay off the side of the road and stay on the road, right? Well, Brian Bowersock, our auto man, as always, here to help us do just that. And today we're talking about the fluids under the hood, why it's important to change them, and when.
All the fluids on the vehicle. And the reason we're talking about fluids, it's one of the easiest defenses you can use in servicing the vehicle to extend component life on many expensive things. Everywhere from transmissions to differentials, transfer cases, all the way to things like brake fluid, which you may not think a lot about, but we have very expensive ABS and traction control systems on cars now that the brake fluid often runs through. The solenoids and things inside of those can fail over time with contaminated fluid running through them.
Okay.
So that's why we're talking about fluids today and how important it is. And we'll start with the transmission over here. As you can see, we got a couple filters here, and the filters trap the contaminants, everything from clutch material to metal particles. If you don't change out fluids on systems, those particles continue to float around inside the system with the fluid, damaging everything from seals to other bushings and bearings and things like that that can cause a costly repair later.
We don't want a costly bill.
No, no, we never want a costly bill.
So how often should we be checking our fluids or changing them?
Well, you should check them regularly during normal service, you know, and most folks get oil services. We all know that on a regular basis, correct? But they should be checked, the fluid levels checked and looked at, but they should be replaced in mileage and time intervals. Okay. So the reason for that is often folks will say, well, it didn't look dirty. Well, that's great because we don't want it dirty. That's what we don't want. So if you replace them at intervals, then you can save yourself a lot of trouble. Dealing with transmissions, we usually recommend a lot sooner than the manufacturer, usually around 20,000 miles if you service a transmission. Now, that's not a manufacturer's recommendation, but if you're keeping the car, it will help extend the life of that component. Everything down to power steering systems, same thing, metal contamination in them. Brake fluid we talked about, differential services, and then of course cooling systems, which we prevent corrosion and things like that, and usually replace the thermostat and stuff like that at the same time. Extending the life of the cooling system and gaskets in the system, like head gaskets and expensive repairs. So basically, by replacing fluids, you can extend the life of a lot of components on your vehicle.
Perfect. All right, so as long as we keep the maintenance up and just make sure you get those in for those scheduled oil changes and
have them looked at by somebody that's qualified, that knows when, hey, this should be done. And obviously these are services, so you can schedule them out as needed.